but their father is the devil.
Mm.
He the devil.
Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie who searched for the big black.
50 Cent has allegedly gone into witness protection after he seemingly helped leak some incredibly shocking footage of Diddy violently assaulting Cassie, just like she claimed in her lawsuit. New surveillance footage, obtained exclusively by CNN, appears to corroborate some of the allegations against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her into a corner. Moments later, he can be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs' words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in trafficking and other allegations, which Combs has repeatedly denied. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in all the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. People should absolutely not be doubting Cassie anymore. All of this gets especially worse when you consider there is so much other stuff that she went through too, according to sources."
Looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bruh. Because you got to realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you got to cut this part out. Let's just say, allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her.
So you feel like Diddy was having sex with the male prostitutes?
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room. Right?
Right.
It's a freak-off section. Right? She said it's a freak-off section. If she says a freak-off section, brother, she ain't the only one freaking off. The prostitute ain't the only one freaking off. Old boy is freaking off also.
Right, right. So you think he was letting these guys use their BBCs on him?
I think that, and me just being a trained investigator and reading through the lines of certain things, and one time I had read something that Cassie couldn't take it no more. She told her friend, and this was she was under a non-disclosure and everything like that. She told her friend she couldn't take it no more because she had seen this dude do something. I've heard plenty of stories about him being on a yacht, that same yacht that Kim was on, and the same yacht she got her nose broken on, that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused a confrontation. Cassie may have seen some stuff that she didn't really want to look at, but it was freak off day.
Right, right. And when I look at this lawsuit, man, Cassie, she also alleges that, while she was having sex with these male prostitutes, the male prostitutes, and Diddy, they all wore masquerade masks.
He didn't want her to know who they were. So if she ever wanted to do what she just did, how does she say how the person look? All she could describe is if they was wearing masks, unless she saw them before they put the mask on. It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and trying to engage other men into sexual acts with him. There was a story that he was trying to get Chris Brown. There's stories about, those, what was those young boys that he had, a group, B5 or something like that, trying to get them. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN, is keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
And now, this Jaguar Wright interview from a couple of years ago is really coming to the fore when she asked why Cassie didn't want to stay with Diddy despite being paid insane amounts of money to do so.
Has anybody asked themselves about that?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are asking about what's going on with it. Yeah, a lot of people are looking at it as like that's the way the new relationship should work.
What, to get paid?
Yeah,
she was getting $500K a month. She quit because he dropped her down.
Yeah, I think that's where they're at with it now.
No, but understand this. Think about this. And there are women in this room. Why would you quit? What the going on that 250,000 ain't enough?
Ladies?
Like the fact that he, I'm just saying, the fact that he cut from 500 to 200. Who the gives a 200K? Who 250K? Who turning down 250K a month? What the is going on in that relationship that 250K ain't enough?
Could see some things.
That ain't worth 250K. That's got to be some dark. Like, people are not understanding that girl quit 250K. 4 million every quarter. Well, I'm sorry, $1 million every quarter. Now, she was getting $2 million a quarter, but then she got, you got going on. That's so deep that it ain't worth $1.25 million.
They told a story about Cassie one time, and she was saying someone had asked her why she cut her hair, and she was like, well, Diddy said he just liked it that way. And they said when she answered the question, it was like she was in a trance. Like she was just like, I just don't know. Diddy just said he would like my hair this way. And they was like so in awe, like how she didn't even have a thought about it. It was just what he wanted.
That's how he operates. He has people followed. He has people watched. He does all kinds. He's a piece of shit.
Too much money.
I feel bad for the kids. Like, don't think that there aren't moments when I'm speaking honestly about that mother. Pray that his children don't hear it. Because that's still their dad. I know what it's like to have a baby with a small fucker. As much as I can't stand my ex-husband, I would never want my son to feel bad about either one of us being his parent. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I would never want that.
Exactly.
But their father is the devil. He the devil.
Hold that thought. Why do you think T.D. Jakes was at Puff Daddy's birthday party?
You know, do you remember when Bernie Mac played the minister in Friday?
Yes.
That's how I feel about T.D. Jakes. Like, that's how I see. Oh, Miss Parker, come to pray. But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for 100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on you, bishop. And he said, and then it's on the, he's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out, birth that baby, I'm like, are we a church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like, this getting a little weird. I mean, if Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons. Money or sex. That's all that happens at Diddy parties. Money and sex. I hope it was for money.
Charitable contribution.
I hope it was for money, because arguing about who's going to put the show is that can be a very uncomfortable situation. You know, we're going to pray on it. Praise the Lord. You know?
Amen.
And it will not surprise you to know that this seems to be quite a recurring theme in Diddy's relationships, because another of his exes revealed she went through the same kind of abuse years ago.
He would like call me names, like he would call me up every single day. Yeah.
Why would he call you? Not that he had a reason, but like in his mind, what do you think prompted him to call you?
Now that I think about it, I think.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We're getting to use some tissue. I don't want you messing up your makeup. Okay, you look gorgeous. Okay.
Thinking back now, I think he did it because he wanted me to feel low about myself, like, so that I stick around him, because like no one would I don't know, I just feel like he'd try to I was naive and young when I met him, so I feel like he tried to take advantage of that and manipulate me. It made me feel low about myself.
Now let's talk about the physical, if you're okay. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So obviously you terminated baby one
Mm-hmm.
because you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
How long after you guys started dating is when did the physical start?
The first time it ever happened, which was not even like that long into the relationship, because I met him in February, and then it was probably like the beginning of May, because we were at Meek's Mill's birthday.
When did baby two come?
Last year in August.
So talk about that conversation. You're pregnant, you tell him. And this is obviously after 6 years of you guys being together.
And mind you, it wasn't my fault that I got pregnant. I told him, because I have like this period app and it tells me when I'm ovulating and stuff. So I told him that I'm ovulating, so don't do it. But he just did it anyway, and then I got pregnant, and he like, okay, just get an abortion, like no hesitation. But this time was harder for me because I had been with him for so long, and I was like really in love with him, and part of me wanted to keep it, but he didn't want it. So we had agreed to get it, but I only agreed to it because he told me to. And then we went to Turks and Caicos like a couple days later. And during that time he was like giving me drinks, like alcohol, like giving me drinks to drink, and I was just like, I'm not comfortable. He was like,
Gina never took action, but the lawsuit Cassie filed claims Diddy committed many acts of violence, including forced intercourse with male partners. Cassie describes the mogul, president of her previous label and then romantic boyfriend, as a textbook example of enticing her into what she initially thought was a fatherly, protective relationship. She dissolved her relationship with Bad Boy in 2019. Since then, 50 Cent, Bobby Shmurda, and numerous others have joined forces to criticize the assault. 50 Cent lambasted the rapper's reaction to the release of the surveillance footage on his official X account, formerly Twitter. He wrote, "Now I'm sure Puffy didn't do it, he is innocent. This proves nothing, this is what his lawyers are going to say." God help us all. Meanwhile, Bobby recently released a video clip of himself on Instagram, emphasizing that Diddy's fame and fortune do not excuse his behavior. In the viral video, what do you think will happen now? Let us know in the comments.
Cut it out, Puff. Cut it out. So you were disgusted back then, you're disgusted now. So let me ask you a question then. Was that the last time that you did that to her? Was that the last time you did that to any woman? If you're so disgusted and you went and you got all this help and you feel whatever, and if that's the case, why did you say enough is enough and say that she was lying? Say that all the things in her lawsuit are not true. That incident was in her lawsuit. I remember that incident because I was around. Remember? I remember her telling me about how you spent $50,000 to get rid of that video. Watching that video the other day was crazy because I thought no one was ever going to see it because of you. And now you're sorry? Really? Cry me a river, bro. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. And I'm glad you don't want forgiveness because ain't nobody giving it to you over here. You know what you did. You're fine with your behavior. That's the bottom line. That is you. That person on that video is part of you. And that part of you needs to atone, needs to take whatever is coming to you because you have already sown these seeds. Take your punishment like a fucking man. Talking about you sorry. Get the fuck out of here.
Cassie confided in me about back then. And like the one thing specifically that always stuck out to me about the story was him throwing the vase at her. And to see it, like to see Like, I remember her saying, I remember it being at the Intercontinental. I remember the whole situation. But to like know a story is one thing, but to see it is something different. And then also to see it, somebody that you care about, like, you know, it's that a video of my friend getting violently assaulted is all over the world, and no one was there to help her, and it just, I don't know, it makes me